Hey everyone, welcome. I am MisterBo, and today I thought we'd discuss whether or not we'll be seeing anything from Crash Bandicoot or indeed Spyro the Dragon at this year's E3, because up until a couple of weeks ago, we really had no idea what was happening with E3, but now the ESA have officially announced that E3 is going to be all digital and it's going to be running from June 12th to June 15th, and they've also released a bunch of partners who are going to be participating. Now of course, this year is the 25th anniversary of Crash Bandicoot, and Activision has promised we're going to be getting celebrations all year long. Now some of those celebrations have already begun, like the re-release of Crash Bandicoot 4 for next-gen consoles as well as PC and Switch, and of course the release of Crash Bandicoot on the Run, the new Crash Bandicoot mobile game. However, I think a lot of people are holding out hope we're going to be getting some sort of surprise announcement of a new game or DLC for Crash 4 in the form of Wumpa League. And I think a lot of people are probably looking at E3 as some kind of date on when we can expect an announcement. However, we're probably not going to be getting anything at E3 because, well, Activision isn't going to be there. The list of partners so far includes people like Nintendo, Xbox, Ubisoft, Take-Two, Warner Brothers, Square Enix, Capcom, Konami, and even Koch Media. PlayStation, EA, and Activision, they're not part of it. And that isn't really surprising. EA haven't been there for a number of years now. They do their own thing with EA Play. I don't believe Sony has actually been at E3 since we got the reveal of the Insane Trilogy, and while Activision does usually participate, they never really announce anything at E3. They always announce their games ahead of time and then just show off gameplay at E3. So if there is still some kind of announcement for Crash or Spyro this year, it's not going to be at E3. Which brings up the question, well, where would it be? Well, to answer that question, we have to look back a number of years to the reveal of Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Now that got revealed at the Game Awards, which is hosted by Jeff Keighley. Fast forward a couple of years to the reveal of Crash Bandicoot 4, as well as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, and those were revealed during the Summer Game Fest, again hosted by Jeff Keighley. We then fast forward a few more months to the reveal of the flashback tapes for Crash Bandicoot 4, and that was during Opening Night Live, which is a Gamescom event, again hosted by Jeff Keighley. It seems like Activision and Jeff Keighley have a pretty good partnership going, and I think if we're going to be getting any kind of announcement from Crash, Spyro, or I'm still holding out hope for some more Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, it's probably going to be done with Jeff Keighley. Now we do know Jeff Keighley is again hosting the Summer Game Fest, though we don't have any real dates for that at this moment. And we also know he is going to be doing Opening Night Live again for Gamescom. However, Opening Night Live and Gamescom usually take place at the end of August, and if we are getting a release this year, that's probably a little bit too late. So if we are indeed getting any announcements from Crash, Spyro, or even Tony Hawk, it's probably going to be at the Summer Game Fest again. We don't have any dates for that event at this current time, but Jeff has said it's not going to be as stretched out as last year's, so expect it to be around May, June, July, in those couple of months. I think if we don't get anything by the end of July, well, it's probably safe to assume we're not getting any releases this year. Now of course there is a factor that plays into the release of Wumpa League, if it is indeed real, that no one saw coming, and that is the pandemic. Crash Bandicoot 4 was released during the pandemic, and you've got to assume that if there was some kind of DLC or standalone PvP multiplayer game, it's probably been delayed. In fact, Activision came out last year and said if a game has any kind of voiceover work, it's been delayed because that's one of the things that's been hardest to do when working from home. Now we could be seeing a case where Activision has actually used the re-release of Crash Bandicoot 4 as kind of a stopgap. Release Crash Bandicoot 4 again for the consoles and platforms that didn't get it. Remind everyone that Crash Bandicoot 4 is a game, and if you haven't played it, to go and play it, and give the developer of whoever is working on this, again DLC or standalone PvP game, a little bit more time to get it finished up for the end of the year to celebrate Crash's 25th anniversary. Now I think a lot of people are also expecting some kind of announcement for Spyro 4 this year, but again you've got to take into consideration the pandemic. If Activision are looking to release either Crash or Spyro this year, which one are they more likely to release? Well, they're probably more likely to release Crash Bandicoot, seeing as it's his 25th anniversary. Of course, they could release both, but if they're trying to prioritize one, I think Crash is the way to go, and it's probably best to delay Spyro into 2022. Now we've also got to consider the third factor here, and that's the big one, Call of Duty. Now, a new Call of Duty is set to release this year. It's probably going to be announced in August in Warzone, and then it's probably going to release in either October or November. like we saw last year. However, we've been hearing some rumors that Call of Duty isn't really in a hot spot at the moment with its development cycle, just like last year's, and we've seen some job listings that suggest that Toys for Bob may be being brought on to help with the development. Now, we already know Beenox help with the development of Call of Duty. They work on the PC port, and in recent years they've also done CDL, which is the Call of Duty League, the esports league. And I think if you're Activision and you're seeing that Call of Duty is having a little bit of a hard time in development, you probably want to get all hands on deck, bring in Toys for Bob, bring in the rest of Beenox, help push Call of Duty past the finish line, because the reality is Call of Duty is going to be the best selling game this year, and it's going to sell 10 times what Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, or even Tony Hawk could do. Now, of course, there is the possibility that we're not getting anything new from Crash or Spyro this year, but Activision has teased there is at least something coming, and whether that's just new seasons for On the Run, maybe some cool new merch, or just some social media engagement stuff, we don't know, but something is coming for the 25th anniversary, so we'll just have to wait and see what that is. So I'd love to know in the comments below what you think. Do you think we're going to be getting any announcements for Crash or Spyro this year? And if so, where do you think they're going to be? Do you think they're going to be during the Summer Game Fest? Or do you think Activision could announce they're going to be participating in E3? I'd love to know. If you did enjoy this video, then click that like button. Also subscribe if you're not already. Apart from all that though, thank you very much for hanging out with me and watching. I do super appreciate it. You guys seem to like the format of the last video, so I thought I'd do it again. It's a little bit more fun for me to edit and just make in general. Not every video going forward will be like this. You'll still just get the voiceover and gameplay videos. But when it's a little bit more of a discussion, I feel like this kind of format works a little bit better. So it's good to see that you guys are enjoying it, and hopefully I'll get better at doing this kind of stuff. Anyways, hopefully I will catch you guys in some future content. Until then though, as always, make sure you take care. Bye bye.